which was a lot of money for electric vehicles. I know that it disturbed him. He wanted, and rightfully, he recommended somebody from that he, I guess, knew very well. I'm sure he respected him, but to run NASA, and I didn't think it was appropriate. And he happened to be a Democrat. I can understand why he's upset.
All right, so yeah, his buddy at NASA is not going to be there. But going back to the EV mandate there and the mention there by the president, what do you think of that, Nicole? And whether that's part of what Musk was upset about.
News Nation on TikTok.
I'm sure that it is a part of it, but I just have a really hard time believing that a person with this much ego and personality isn't upset about what's happening, which is they were under a lot of rhetoric about being co-presidents, and he had all this access, and that he was really, leading so much of it, and now has been pushed to the side, and you see him trying to reassert how he's actually the most influential. He won the election. Wouldn't have happened without him. He'll be around for 40 more years, while Trump will only be around for the next 3.5. Basically sort of signaling to these Republicans like, hey, I can either make your re-elections very easy or very difficult for a lot of years to come, but this guy's got a short leash now. I mean, it just seems to me that it's a lot of petty ego, and that's why they're going back and forth on, X, as opposed to communicating with each other when they obviously have a personal connection and could simply be having these conversations, on their phones or in person. So it just seems like a lot of real ego to me.
Once you're done, though, with Donald Trump, whether he's a businessman or president, it might be the end of those personal conversations and the opposite is also true. Sometimes he comes back to people at some point as well. Alex, let's talk about the big, beautiful bill part of this, because, in Elon's mind, at least, that's kind of what started it. He says, this thing's an abomination and all that kind of thing. On the tablet, I have the Republicans who have the quote-unquote concerns about it. I know that The Hill was reporting earlier saying that two in particular stood out as they look like they were no's, I think, in Rand Paul and Ron Johnson. Here's a clip from Senator Johnson talking about all this and where it goes. Take a listen.
Nobody can predict the future. I understand that, but it's pretty convincing to me that we are on a unsustainable trajectory. Again, the trajectory of deficits is up. And no matter what the big, beautiful bill does, it does not address that long-term prospect.